She has become the most politically influential trans person in the country, serving as the chair of the DNC Relations Committee. She has attended 3 Democratic National Conventions and will be at the 2016 convention as a superdelegate. Barbara Babs Sipperstein began her military service in 1964, serving in the Army's 78th Infantry Division. She stayed in the Army for 6 years. Babs earned her MBA at Pace University and later became the co-managing director of North Sipperstein Incorporated, a member of the Edison Municipal Alliance, the CEO of Sipperstein Ford's Paint Corporation, and a trustee for Congregation Bet Mordecai. She got married in 1967 and was widowed in 2001. She has 3 children. What makes Babs so politically influential is that she became involved in the local and national Democratic Party since 2002. She was elected to the board of the Democratic National Committee in 2009 as the first openly transgender person. Camryn Garcia served in the Army from 1968 to 1971, then joined the Coast Guard Reserves from 1971 to 1973. After joining the Army Reserves, she trained as a field corpsman. She then joined the Army National Guard. After serving in all those different branches of service, Camryn became a civilian EMT and a federal police officer. She joined the Air Force Reserves and served as a security police officer. In 2005, Camryn became the first Filipina trans woman in the cast of the Transsexual Vagina Monologues in San Francisco. She now speaks at high schools, colleges, and universities on transgender issues from a law enforcement and medical standpoint. Sammi Lynette Guerette joined the Navy in 1979, right after high school, and became a machinist mate serving on the USS Mauna Kea until her honorable discharge in 1983. After the military, Sammi worked as a restaurant manager and owned her own construction company. She earned a bachelor's degree in healthcare information management at Grand Canyon University in Phoenix, Arizona. Dr. Robin Walters graduated from the Naval Academy in 1960 and went on to receive a PhD in naval engineering from MIT in 1971. She had an extensive naval career for 20 years and retired as a full commander. Afterwards, Robin worked as a Navy maintenance engineering contractor on one level or another from 1980 until 2010. She has been a project manager 3 times, once as a male and twice as a female. In 1999, Robin met Emery, and in 2000 they got married. Between them, they have 8 children, 15 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren. They now live in Maui, where Robin volunteers at the Hawaiian Islands Humpback Whale National Marine Sanctuary, and she scuba dives in her spare time. Over the years, Robin has been involved with transgender activism, working with organizations such as the National Center for Transgender Equality, the Transgender American Veterans Association, the Transgender Network, and the Parents, Families, and Friends of Lesbians and Gays. Evan Young grew up in Little Rock, Arkansas, and would play with Tonka trucks and cars in the dirt. As a very young child, he refused to wear dresses. In junior high, Evan began playing various sports and excelled at softball. Evan tried to get into West Point and the Naval Academy, but in high school he blew out his knee. Because Evan was a straight-A student, he received a scholarship to Arkansas State, but in his sophomore year he joined the Army. He received his commission from the U.S. Army in 1998 through a scholarship in the Army Reserve Officers Training Corps Green to Gold program. He started his transition in 2011 and retired from the Army as a major in 2013. He earned several service commendations and medals. He has twin daughters, and today he's the board president of the Arkansas Transgender Equality Coalition and the president of the Transgender American Veterans Association. He has also worked with Sparta and was named one of the top 25 visionaries in Arkansas by the Arkansas Times in their annual Visionaries issue. Dana Walker was raised in LaPorte, Indiana, and enlisted in the Army right out of high school. She served 25 years as a military police officer and as a market intelligence officer with the United States Army Recruiting Command. She got out as an Army First Sergeant promotable. Dana also worked as a federal investigator for the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission and a regional sales manager for Humana Military Veterans Initiative, responsible for parts of the western U.S. She graduated cum laude from Columbia Southern University with a Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration and received an MBA from Liberty University. She is currently pursuing a Master's in Counseling Psychology at Troy University. She is also a former president of Transgender American Veterans Association, and she rides a Harley. In January 2015, the National LGBT Bar Association helped her get her DD-214 changed with her legal name. Created in the 1950s by the Department of Defense, the DD-214 is a discharge document that was considered written in stone. Because of the LGBT Bar Association, trans veterans will now have their DD-214 changed to reflect their legal name. As we have seen, transgender and gender non-conforming people have served our country with distinction and honor while in the military. Many have gone on to serve their country and their communities with equal distinction and honor. In a recent transgender discrimination survey called Injustice at Every Turn, it showed that 20% of gender non-conforming people have served in the military, compared to 10% for the general population. The National Center for Transgender Equality and the National Gay and Lesbian Task Force put together the survey, and they had nearly 6,500 trans people fill it out. Why have trans people had to stay closeted and silent about who they are when they serve this country? They have done such an excellent job for our military. 20 of our allied nations allow trans people to serve openly. Secretary of Defense Ashton Carter announced on January 15, 2016, that the Pentagon has worked out all the details of allowing trans people to serve openly in the U.S. military starting sometime in the spring of 2016. The Republican presidential candidates have stepped all over themselves trying to be the one who could say the nastiest things they could say about trans people. Time will show that they are all on the wrong side of history. I am Dr. Darlene Wagner saying thank you for watching.